EA Play 2017 started off with a fun, jazzy montage as all good video game presentations should. It was very well edited, so I have to give some real big props to the video editors over at EA. It was a nice little job. What happened next was kind of unexpected. EA had a full band on stage to intro the new Madden trailer. The Madden trailer for the new Madden long shot was not a disappointment though. It really actually enhanced my feeling about Madden. As somebody who's played football for years, I've not bought a Madden game in a very long amount of time. But this new story mode from the long shot trailer really has me more interested on what to see from Madden down the line. Next up, the EA CEO came out on stage and welcomed everyone to the event. And he also explained that this year's show was more about everybody watching at home and some of the people there at the event as well, because they're allowing YouTubers and Twitch streamers to actually broadcast out some of the gameplay of some of their biggest titles right from EA Play's event. Of course, this is very much marketing speak, but this is exactly what he had to say. You won't just hear it from us, but you'll hear it from the players. As much as that's marketing right there, I do gotta say I know there's a lot of gamers out there who would appreciate watching their favorite YouTubers' opinions on these games live rather than just hearing it directly from a PR person from EA. So having your favorite YouTuber stream out Battlefield 1 new DLC, you might trust him more than you would trust a marketing person from EA, and overall this is probably a good move for YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and EA in general. It's just a good move expanding the industry as a whole. Now let's talk about some actual games. The next big staple franchise showcase at the event was Battlefield 1. We're not surprised by this being there at all. And the developer came up on stage and said there's over 20 million Battlefield 1 players, which is really damn impressive, along with showing off some YouTubers and streamers showing their joy while playing the game. For me guys, them showing this montage of YouTubers and streamers and talking about the numbers wasn't all that exciting to me. I mean, if you guys liked it, it was alright, but I thought this was part of the show that could have really just cut out. But then they did reveal some new information about content coming to the game, which I actually do care about because content is king. There's going to be new night maps coming to Battlefield 1, along with new maps in the West. That's what they put it. These maps will take place in Russia, and the name of the whole entire package of maps is called In the Name of the Tsar. YouTubers and Twitch streamers will be able to showcase these maps on their channel while they're streaming today. So that's not really that bad. But then we have to get into the really dumb thing that I think they did today. There's going to be a new competitive Battlefield 1 experience, and that's all they said because, well, it's going to be showcased at Gamescom. And I was like, what in the world is this? Why are you announcing a new competitive experience? And they said like, nah, you got to come back to Gamescom to see it. I'm like, if you have this announcement ready, just showcase it here, or just don't even mention it if it's going to be at Gamescom. Like, we're here to see your big presentation for E3 2017, your EA Play. Let's not talk about Gamescom because that's down the road. That's not what we're here for. We're here for today's event. So I thought that was kind of definitely a mess up on their part by mentioning Gamescom at all. After that, they had somebody come up on stage and talk about the FIFA World Cup Championship Series and waste so much time talking about the competition. I am literally showing you a 2x version of what they were doing on stage, and it just goes on and on, talking and talking with so few little gameplay details. But after that, they finally revealed a CG trailer of the new FIFA coming out later this year. Then, finally, now this is more marketing, they got the man in Blazers to come on stage and talk about a few of the new features in the new FIFA. Still, it was more people sitting on stage talking about the game than actually showing what the game was all about, which I guess is not really what I'm there for. I know some people would love to see the man in Blazers and these FIFA World Championship type stuff, the competition, but of course for me as a gamer, a lot of the times I want to hear about more details about the games more than everything else. It will never be about the people sitting there just talking and trying to promote the game. Now, talking about the man with Blazers, they did a good job promoting. They selling the game, and I know a lot of people probably buy it because they like those guys. For me, as somebody who likes the FIFA game, but I just like it because I like the game and not because I like the whole circus around the game, it did nothing for me. Maybe it did something for you, but I'm not going to give them a ding. I'm not going to negative for them, but it's just something I wanted to point out, that I wanted just more of the gameplay and less about the circus around it and the promoting the freaking people talking about the game. Not for me at all. Then we had the biggest cringe moment of the show.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Yes, they had a YouTuber come up on stage to do the big reveal of Need for Speed Payback. Now, to give him a little bit of credit, that has to be hard. That's a lot of pressure, especially if you're a big Need for Speed fan and you're a YouTuber and it's the first time you've been on a stage in front of all these people live on the internet, even though you probably scream all the time and do perfectly fine. So I'm going to give him a pass right there. It was a cringy moment, but let's get past that because Need for Speed Payback actually looks like a fantastic game when it comes to graphics. And they also went into how well they're going to be pushing the deep customization of the classic and new cars. The core gameplay of this new Need for Speed actually looks like they're taking a lot of influence from the Fast and Furious movie franchise, which does have me pretty excited if it actually ends up well done. I'm definitely going to be watching this Need for Speed to see what happens with it next. Consider me very interested. So Need for Speed definitely was quite impressive, but the next game I was mind-blowing. EA brought out an EA original game. This game, A Way Out, is the best thing shown at EA's presentation in my opinion. On first seeing the gameplay that you guys are looking at right now, I very much felt like it was displaying something from the show Prison Break, but then I was realizing no, this is not like some freaking license deal. This is something definitely new and interesting. They're incorporating this very heavily split screen co-op features for both online split screen and offline, which I'm like, whoa, this is pretty darn cool. And it also has an interesting story along with great voice acting, and it really had me hooked. This is a type of project that I really see that people are going to be keeping an eye on during the whole entire E3 event. People are going to want to know more about this game. I never knew about it before E3 2017, and now I'm definitely saying this might just be one that I'm gonna have to buy. These EA original projects coming from EA are really quite impressive. The developers they team up with to actually work together, and they're saying that the money they make from these EA originals will be going back into funding more original projects. So as long as EA is willing to work with other developers to bring unique titles out, maybe they get a little bit of a pass on not having too many of their own new original IPs. As I like to actually talk about the presentation of these events, this is something I wanted to bring up. The moment the developer came out for A Way Out, I really wanted to say this was one of the more heartwarming moments of the show versus all the corporate mess, because he was kind of fumbling a bit, but it was so heartwarming, genuinely passionate about his game and the way he's been talking about how his experience working with EA with the original program was. And seeing this little heartwarming moment versus all the sport corporate marketing push was something that I generally like. I like having the developers on stage more than I like having these TV show host guys who do the FIFA stuff or these basketball, football stars come talk about the game. I prefer seeing what the developers think about their projects and what they're working on more than I think seeing the stars are important. Just this little moment gave me a be like, oh, EA's not all corporate marketing. They have a little bit of heart, just a little. After this, we had someone on stage once again to talk about something that I actually thought was a little bit interesting: the technology behind the games that we're seeing today. He also announced a new research team called Seed that will be working along with Frostbite and the Digital Playground as a way to actually build on the games that are being made right now. And after that, we weren't too surprised to see the mention of Scorpio. He actually showcased some screenshots from the new Madden featuring enhanced features from Scorpio. And it was no surprise that the next game they showed was a brand new IP coming from BioWare using these new technologies that will be fully revealed at the Microsoft E3 press conference. And I would not be surprised if this new game from BioWare will be heavily pushed as an Xbox One Scorpio title. I'm just predicting it here. I can't be sure, but we will know very soon when Microsoft starts their event. So we have to wait till Microsoft event to see new information about this BioWare IP, which was the one really new big IP coming from EA today other than the EA Origins, well, working together new IP. The next game they had, 2K 2018, I was actually quite surprised they didn't mention anything to do with Scorpio. Still, it was a pretty good demo. They had the developer showcase what the controls are actually like when playing the game and talk about the feel and what happens when you did one thing versus another. Really close zoom in to see what the graphics were really like. These are the type of demos that I definitely like to see from developers, to showcase a slow motion portion of the game, to show what the tech is kind of like as well. Of course, there will be gamers who want the highlight reel, some jazzy music in the background, and after that they showcase a brand new trailer for the new 2K game. So if that's your thing and you wanted a flashy trailer, they made that for you. And for the gamers like me that want to see the tech and the technical part of the gameplay, they had a developer up there and actually showed that as well. That's how I would like them to do more of their sports game, and I was surprised that they did that for 2K, but not really for Madden or FIFA throughout the whole entire event the same exact way. But still, good little showcase right there of 2K 2018. After the 2K talk, I was expecting something from the NHL franchise, but unfortunately, I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get that. Still, the next thing that EA talked about was a little bit nice as well. They talked about their play to give donations, which was over $3 million, and along with that, they actually announced something nice for some gamers. If you have an Xbox One or PC, you'll get free access to Origin Access or EA Access for the next week. All the titles available in that vault. For PlayStation gamers, as many of you guys will know, EA Access is not available on the PlayStation console. You do get access to some free trials of PlayStation for EA games as well. It's a little nice welcome extra, and I'm sure this was their type of thing where it says, hey, it's available now. So for right now, the whole entire week, guys, go out there and play EA games that are available on the vault. If I had to recommend one game that you need to play, Plant vs. Zombies 2 Garden Warfare is an actually good game, guys. Garden Warfare 2 is seriously a good game. I would highly recommend you guys check that one out, especially if it being free. Now let's talk about how they ended out the show. Oh man. So to end the show, they brought out one of the best pop culture brands out there, Star Wars. It was finally time to reveal what was happening with Battlefront 2 multiplayer and single player content. And with that being said, they said that 3x more content is in Battlefront 2 than Battlefront 1, which we just need to point out one little thing, that Battlefront 1 did not have any single player content anyway, so it needs to at least be 1x more. Alright, with the stupid jokes out of the way, guys, I do really need to give EA some damn good presentation skills for this Star Wars presentation, because it was on another level, guys. Because it seems like EA put all their showmanship into what they were doing with Star Wars. From the stage of multiplayer gameplay they were doing with everybody who was incorporated with that, from the iJustine commentary along with everybody else in her crew, to even like the trailers they were showing, like everything just had another level of polish compared to the rest of the show. Overall, I gotta say the Battlefront 2 presentation was god darn good. Like, it was just another level. It's like, hey, everything up to the Battlefront was not just on par. And I'm like, I really like all the way out, but the Battlefront, they look like they put money into making sure you came away from this Star Wars presentation saying, hey, I want that game. And guess what, guys? They made me say that I want Star Wars Battlefront 2. When Battlefront 1 came out, I did not buy it right away because I didn't think it was worth the money for all the content that was in the game. This time, they've proven it to me that, hey, I need to pick this game up on day one right now. Of course, I'm not going to pre-order it, guys, because I can pick it up on day one. So that's that. Alright, guys. So Miki here with the Untitled Game Show. Let's just try to wrap this thing up. How did EA actually do? As a show overall, it was pretty much as expected. It did not blow any minds. It did not disappoint me as well. It's basically what we could expect from EA. Sports, sports, sports. Battlefield, new content. EA game original reveal. And big Star Wars news. If we overlook the cringe-worthy moments, I would say it was a better presented show than last year's EA's presentation. And overall, I will say that this year's EA Play 2017 gets an adequate from the Untitled Game Show. It was good enough. It just wasn't nothing that crazy. I will say though, any gamer that went into EA's event expecting a bunch of brand new IPs would be very highly disappointed. That's just the truth. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Beaky with the Untitled Game Show. For more E3 news, trailers, gameplay, check the playlist in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it, share it with your friends, family, and with your dog, because dogs like watching videos too. Don't hate on them puppies out there. Support the channel if you like. Links for that will be in the description. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, happy gaming. More soon.